Hey guys, welcome back. Illusion here with you again, like always, back doing this more AE2 content. A while back I promised a multi-part series covering AE2. So a little bit of history about the mod is AE1 started in 1.4 version of Minecraft, is originally developed by Algorithm X2. Transitioned to AE2 in 1.7, and the mod is now updated and maintained by Fireball. AE2's changed a little bit from AE1, but it's still at the heart a logistics and item storage mod. But there's so much more you can do with it. So with my goal with this multi-part series is we're going to start with episode 1, doing the very basics, world exploration, basic material gathering, and then as we get later in the multi-part series we're going to move into more of the complex automation, late game stuff, and the add-on mods for AE2. So I don't know how long it's going to be, how many parts this series, but I just didn't feel like I could do a very in-depth spotlight just in 1 or 2 videos. It's probably going to be more than 5, I would imagine. But you know, we're just going to go with it, see what happens, and go from there. So like I said, Episode 1, we're going to talk about world generation, and the world generation for AE2 is, of course, Certus Quartz. With AE2, we now have charged Certus Quartz ore. So if I'm actually, one other disclaimer, I'm actually using FTB Infinity for this mod pack for this series because it's got a lot of the add-on mods. And you can see some integration with some other mods, like for instance we have Certus bees from forestry and extra bees and all that kind of stuff. So you guys see some mod integration with cross mod integration, I guess is the best word. So if we go to NEI, the first thing I want to show you is I'm going to just press R on here, and it'll give you a little bit more information from NEI. Let's see, we can use the cyan laser focus if we're using a laser drill from MFR, and you also will see the ore generation distribution for the Certus Quartz. So this is both for Certus Quartz ore and the charged. So best Y level is 47. So I went ahead and dug a little tunnel just so we can kind of get rid of some of the boring parts of me digging. You also see the tools. I'm actually using the Draconic tools because it makes digging a little bit easier. So I'm just jump over survival, and what I have is a non-enchanted pickaxe and then a Fortune 3 pickaxe. Fortune does apply to these to these materials, to these ores. So let's just dig up a few of them. You're going to need quite a bit of this. So it looks like we got 7 out of 4 of those with the non-fortune. And then we got, what, 10 out of 2 of them. So you can see there is a little bit, I think that was a little bit higher than normal distribution, but you know, it is what it is. So now we're down into the kind of the appropriate Y level. That was a little bit high. So it looks like I got 4 out of that. So you can see Fortune definitely does apply to these things. But you can see I'm only getting just regular Certus Quartz by digging all these up. But I did get that achievement because I got some charged Certus Quartz. The best way to find charged Certus Quartz, again, is you can look on NEI, but also if you look very closely you can see just a little particle effect to grab those. Nice. So now we have, what, fair amount of those. So not bad. So this is the part where we can start moving on. Let me jump back out of to creative so I can get out of this hole. Should just grab some angel wings or something like that. So if I go back into NEI, you can see we can make some tools with these. Tinker's construct, you can actually use for Tinker's tools. You can see all the pieces and parts. You can have sword, you can make a wrench that acts like a buildcraft wrench. So a lot of neat things you can do with these. So the next part of origin we're going to look at from this mod is the meteor. So every so often you're going to find these AE2 meteors. And if you look on the map, I had to do a fair amount of exploring to find one. Actually, the spawn is right around here when I spawned in, right next to this witchery village, and then you can see I had to do a fair amount of flying around until I actually found one. So they're not super common, but they're not very rare either. And if you actually do have anything in the way, this will destroy it. So it's a nice kind of a spherical shape. If this does fly into like a desert where sand, it will turn the sand to glass, which is kind of a cool effect. So what we're looking for in here is we're going to dig straight down into the center. In fact, I'm not going to dig straight to the center. I am just going to just bang it straight in the middle. And we're looking for something in the direct center of this meteor, which I just got. And it actually is a skystone chest. Right there. So that's what it looks like. I went ahead and broke it because I wasn't paying attention. They're kind of hard to see because it kind of blends in. But once you open up the skystone chest, you will actually see scriber plates, and it's usually some nuggets. And it's variable to how many plates you're going to find. I found as little as 1 to as maximum about 3. So you're going to have to collect these up. There is no crafting recipe for these, so you will have to explore the world to find them. Like that. And you can actually see there's a little tooltip where you can use a meteorite compass. We'll take a look at that here in just a second as well. Now, if you're playing on a multiplayer world, and so let's say your buddy or your server mate did happen to find these logic presses, what you can do is you can take a block of iron and an inscriber and you can copy it. So you can go over your neighbor with a block of iron, say, hey, I just need to borrow your thing, copy it, and then you can take one back with you. So not too bad. And for these, there are 4 different types. Well, I should just do inscriber press. You can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's silicon, logic, engineering, and calculation. So to progress in AE2, you all need all 4 of these presses. So it's going to take a little while for you to explore the world and gather them all up. So let's just do that, and then I'm also gather up some of this skystone. So let me just pop into survival, and I'm just going to take myself a handful of this skystone because you will need it, and you can actually do some pretty interesting things with it as well. You can cook it to make skystone blocks, and you can use the skystone blocks both as bricks or as a decorative material, and it doesn't look too bad as a decoration. You can see right there. Not bad, huh? Alright, so let's jump back into creative. So now we've found quite a bit of both charged Certus quartz and regular Certus quartz. We got yourself a handful of skystone, and next we need to finish getting all 4 of the inscriber press plates. So I'm going to stop it there, and that way we can continue. We can basically stick to this is the world, this is the exploring the world, gathering materials episode. It's not as easy to jump right into AE2 as it was in AE1 because you need a fair amount of this Certus quartz. You need some gold, need some diamonds, nether quartz. You need a little bit of a lot of the vanilla and a lot of the modded items before you can progress, and definitely some iron, some redstone. So I'm going to hold it here, and in the next episode we're going to pick up with basically starting AE2 after we've gathered all materials. So again, this information is current. Today is August 10th, 2015. I noticed on some of my old videos that people are still commenting like, hey, this doesn't work. I'm like, well, that mod spotlight's almost a year old. Look for some newer content. So if you're watching this in the future, again, this is current information and it's always subject to change. So episode 2 will pick up with making our first network. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know any comments. I am going to show you one thing before I move on. One thing I forgot is the meteorite compass, made with one piece of charged and a little bit of iron. So you will have to find some charged Certus quartz, and what it will do is it will point you to the chunk that a meteorite currently is in. So yeah, it's spinning around and around because that's the chunk we're in. If we move out of that chunk, you can see how it's always pointing to the nearest chunk that the meteorite happened to be in. Now if we move away, it's still going to continue pointing there. I will also say that meteorites can be found underground. I haven't seen that very often. I've seen some other people talk about it, but I have never seen it actually happen myself. Most of the ones I found are on the surface, doing surface exploration, and that's how I get my materials. But as you can see, even from this far away, it's working pretty darn good. So I will leave you there, and I will hopefully see you guys in episode 2 as we start our introduction to making our network and getting started. Have a good one.